Oh, yeah.
She used that time to eat. Gabby has no teeth left. So she has
Who has no teeth?
Gabby.
Oh.
She's got a little abscess here.
Mm.
Not really abscess, but it's her tonsil. Because all these teeth over here are just, they're rotted. You can't even do anything with them. Doctor said just leave. I mean, she's what, going to be 16 in November, so.
Oh, that's pretty old.
So anyway, so there's no way to, back on Glenda, there's no way to even get ready for that. It just came up so quickly.
Yeah, no, yeah, she was, I mean, she's training for a marathon. She's never been a runner and
Oh,
barely.
she was doing that.
Yeah, I mean, she's, you know, kind of doing it, I guess. She did a half marathon. Her sister started running marathons a few years back, Anita. And so did a half marathon with her, like in May, or I don't remember when it was. We were going out of towns. So anyway, but whenever. And, so she's healthy. She quit smoking 5 years or so ago, and she quit smoking probably longer than that. But anyway, she's healthy. And this is not something that comes from something. This is just cells they're called astro something cells that are very, very rare. I wrote that down too, but I don't remember what that word was. But because we were asking if it's in stages like first, second, third, fourth stage cancer, and he said no. Glioblastoma means that it is a terminal deadly cancer. That's part of the word. Glio means something.
Very fast.
And very fast. So, but she's still, but the reason that they had so much trouble, partially because there was so much blood, but the other part was because she really should be kind of how she is. I mean, they expect her to get some better, but she went from nonverbal, literally drooling out of her mouth one day after the surgery, not moving really at all with a catheter, to saying that not saying I need to go to the bathroom, but she'd be like, she's pretty modest, so she wasn't doing that, but we'd figure it out. And then to singing, and then she set up on the edge. She didn't set up, they set her up on the edge of the bed, and she was able to, keep herself setting because core strength was strong enough. And then they got her up, and she stood on her left leg because it's fine, and the left hand is fine. And then she could kind of move her toes over, and I took a video of her to show Rick, and then she could drag her other foot barely, and then they could kind of twist her and set her down, and then they have to prop her up because she can't do this elbow thing. But so
Is she eating by mouth or?
Yeah, so right now they're just doing cream stuff. So it was like, because you can't do liquid at all after a stroke or anything, because their flap thing in the back, I can't remember what it's called, epiglottis, doesn't close, and she would aspirate it.
Oh, yeah.
But creamy stuff doesn't. So like she was so excited the second day or third day that she ate to have coffee, because they're like, you want some coffee? And she said, oh, she just makes noises. And so, but they put this stuff in there, it's called thickener, and it looked like gravy. And she was like, oh my God, she was so upset. So, and then only word she said other than was she said hi to Skip on a video, and she sang his name on Happy Birthday. Everything else, when we go to Happy Birthday, when it gets to the name, she'd be like, and we'd all laugh. But she sang it, because I said she couldn't say that I want Skip to come next time, but she sang Happy Birthday, and then when she got to Skip, I said, you want Skip to come? And she said, pointed. So sucks. Went through crazy, but I told her I'd be back in the.
Is she sad?
We cried solid. I don't know that I've ever cried solid for 3 hours like that hard. In
her?
Between giggling, yeah, because nobody else was there. It was just me and her. And then, but it worked out perfect, even though I really wanted it to be somebody else. But it worked out perfect because for some reason, and I guess it's 37 years of being friends, is she didn't have to say a whole lot to me. I could kind of figure it out, although sometimes I would guess and she'd laugh like, that's stupid. Like one time we couldn't figure it out. And do you want a magazine or something? She can't read because she can't figure out letters because her brain isn't there yet. And she'd be like, she'd look at me like, that's stupid. Her personality's still there.
Yeah,
and
she's gotten somewhat better very quickly.
Oh yeah, and that's why they were waiting on the pathology, because they're like, the pathology that was initial, which they told us was metastasized, or not metastasized, but malignant, but we wouldn't believe them because we didn't want to believe them, and they said preliminary, so we just said we're not going to not going to hear it at all, but it did come back malignant, at first, I mean, all the time, but preliminarily, but then because, then they'd come in there and she'd be talking to us kind of, I mean, doing her hand signals, and then when they'd ask her a question, she'd go, and like you could tell her personality was there and she was trying to, or sometimes they'd say, what is this? I watched the doctor kept doing that, and she'd be like, and then she'd cough. Coughing was something. She'd go, like she was trying to cough it out like a word, but you knew it was working. It just wasn't working. And so they were like, this isn't making sense. But there was also 9 of us that sat in the room, literally around her bed on the floor, half praying and half crying and half joking with her. And the guy was like, I've never seen this many people that stayed this long in a hospital room. And he said, sometimes I would say for a family to leave, but I decided that something's going on with you people with her, so we're just going to have you stay. So then we moved her up last night to, not me, but the hospital, moved her up last night to the rehab wing, which she'll be there for 1 to 2 weeks. And they were going to put her in a nursing home for long-term rehab, and that's the part that we kind of were all like, oh my God, it just gets more real each time, but I said, well, why aren't you going to put her in a rehab so she can get better and better? And they said, this isn't a long-term tumor. And so they don't want to they wanted to get her home, and make it home as much as she can. So, but
She might surprise them.
I know, you never know. Nobody's ever survived this. No,
Maybe
I mean, there's
others.
nobody in history that's ever survived this particular type of cancer.
That's horrible.
So, yeah. But we came over here to see Simon, too. We've never met
He
him.
went to bed.
Well, get him
He's
up.
in bed. Are you going to be here for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Can you guys come back tomorrow?
Yeah. Can we? What are you doing tomorrow? You have grandbabies?
I'm not till tomorrow night.
Okay.
I am sorry about Tyler's.
Oh, yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Is he feeling any better? Either one of them?
They just, I don't really know. Then she had another positive test, but then that didn't work, so.
Yeah, I don't think they can allow themselves to do that because they have 3 other kids.
Yeah,
You
so they
know.
just,
I think they just go
To
on
do
because
what?
you have to.
because they've got
To
the other
mourn.
3.
I mean, they have to
Okay,
just
yes.
move on,
Right.
you know? Yeah, which is.
But they told us it was a girl and it was a little boy, and they named him Tyler James Ashburn II.
Well, they told you it was a girl. It wasn't. But it
Sonogram, or, yeah.
Ultrasound, yeah.
Ultrasound, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bad.
was, it is.
But, yeah, we'll come by a meeting.
Yeah.
I was actually I wasn't worried about the weather, and I at first thought about staying one more day with Glenda and then just going back on the weekend. But I knew that if I stayed one more day, it'd be another week, knowing me, because then I'd help with rehab, or I'd be in the room and help her with stretching, or whatever, and it's not my job to do, and they need to be doing that. And so last night I was sitting there, and she was like getting all agitated and trying to get my attention, and I finally looked at her, and she like grabbed my face and made funny facial expressions, like she was trying to say something, and I said, in the morning. And she started bawling. I knew she was saying, when are you leaving?
Yeah.
So I said, in the morning, and then I just tried to get around the weather.